A single email to the wrong person. One unencrypted laptop left in a taxi. That's all it takes. In the EU, that mistake could cost you 4% of your company's global revenue. In the US, maybe a few $1,000s or maybe nothing at all. Same data, same breach. Wildly different consequences. If your business touches customers in both regions, you need to understand why and what to do about it. We're going to break down the key differences between EU and US data privacy law in the next few minutes. No legal jargon. Just the practical stuff that actually affects how you run your business. By the end, you'll understand the one fundamental difference driving everything else, the specific laws you need to care about, and the 5 compliance moves that protect you in both regions. Let's get into it. Here's the thing most people miss. The EU and US don't just have different privacy laws, they have completely different privacy philosophies. In the EU, privacy is a fundamental human right. It's right there in their Charter of Fundamental Rights, alongside things like freedom of speech. That's why GDPR is so comprehensive. It protects everyone, applies to every sector, and the penalties are designed to hurt. In the US, privacy is treated as a consumer protection issue. There isn't a constitutional right to data privacy. Instead, we protect specific types of data in specific situations. Your health records, your financial data, your kids' data online. This isn't just philosophy. It has real consequences for how you collect data, how you get consent, and what happens when something goes wrong. Let's talk GDPR first, because if you're doing business internationally, this is probably your biggest exposure. GDPR applies to you if you offer goods or services to anyone in the EU, or if you track the behavior of people in the EU, even if your company is based in Kansas. No revenue threshold, no employee minimum. If you have a website that EU residents can access, and you're collecting their data, you're potentially in scope. 3 things you absolutely need to know. 1. Consent means opt-in. You can't pre-check boxes. You can't bury consent in a terms of service wall of text. People have to actively, clearly agree, and they can withdraw that consent just as easily. 2. People have real rights over their data. They can demand to see what you've collected. They can tell you to delete it. They can ask you to send it to a competitor, and you have 30 days to respond. 3. The fines are not theoretical. Meta just paid 1.2 billion euros for a single violation. TikTok paid 530 million. LinkedIn paid 310 million. These aren't outliers anymore. They're the new normal. Now, the US side is messier. There's no single federal privacy law, so you're dealing with a patchwork. At the federal level, you have sector-specific laws. HIPAA for health data, GLBA for financial data, COPPA for children under 13. If you're in those industries, you know those rules. But here's what's changed. States have stepped in. As of 2025, over 20 states have passed comprehensive privacy laws, with California leading the pack. California's law, the CCPA, and its update, the CPRA, applies if you have 25 million or more in annual revenue, or you process data from 100,000 plus California residents, or you make half your money from selling personal data. The big difference from GDPR? The US model is opt-out, not opt-in. You can collect and use data until someone tells you to stop. But here's the catch. More states now require you to honor universal opt-out signals, like global privacy control in browsers. And those state laws keep multiplying. 8 new ones took effect in 2025 alone. If you're doing business nationally, you can't just watch California anymore. Data privacy compliance isn't going away. If anything, it's accelerating. More states are passing laws, EU enforcement is getting more aggressive, and the legal framework for transferring data between the US and EU is still being challenged in court. The businesses that treat privacy as a feature, not a burden, are the ones building trust with their customers and avoiding 7-figure fines. At CompliQuest, we help teams get compliant and stay compliant with interactive e-learning that actually sticks. No more checkbox training that everyone forgets the next day. If you want to see how we make privacy training engaging, check the link in the description. And if you found this helpful, subscribe. We break down complex compliance topics every week so you can protect your business without drowning in legalese.